Okay, what are the risks?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
have you lost?
question.
Okay, you mentioned you have 3,000 clients. Do you know anybody who lost money?
No, not one single person
Really?
that's lost money. No. Um,
Okay.
and that's just based on working with a reputable company, the price of the cars that you pay, and being motivated from the company of the performance. You're not going to price up a cast that's going to lose value. So it's good to be aligned in what you're looking to do. But I've never known a cast to lose money, and it's a simple process. The older it gets, the more value it becomes, and a good indication on that is bottle prices globally for you to have a look.
Wow. Okay. Then what are the risks? In theory, what could happen to make people lose money?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Demand would be one of them. If there was less demand, if people stopped drinking whiskey, it wouldn't be worth anything. That's one thing to consider. Cross-border tariffs would have an impact in demand. We've seen Mr. Trump
Yeah.
creating some tariffs on a daily basis. This happened before. It's now back down to zero. But if you sort of add tariffs, the value will increase in terms of bottles, but the demand will be quite significantly less. So that could be a risk factor.
Got it. Got it.
But just to answer your question, the risks are very, very minimal. It's pretty much what I would say a safe haven as opposed to investments. And that's based on a physical, tangible asset that creates value over time. It has no correlation to any indices, equities, stock market. It's recession proof. When you had the pandemic, unfortunately, a lot more people smoke, but they drink a lot more. It's not pegged to any currencies. It purely creates value the older it gets. So I think in terms of risk, it's very, very minimal.
I see. And also the other risk, I just want every single time I interview somebody, I just have to put it out there for my audience. There's always a third party risk where you guys could just take the money or take the cask and run, right? So,
That's a good question.
yeah. And I think you mentioned this, like what you were saying is that in order to 100% prevent this, people can choose to self custody, and you don't have to manage for them; they can manage themselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have full autonomy of your cask. We are the longest standing company in the UK, as I said, for the secondary market. In the unlikely event, we have just signed a 125-year lease at our bonding facility, so we won't be going anywhere for some time, or my children. But yeah, in the unlikely event we was to go into liquidation, having your ownership documents, your certificate of titles, having your invoice and your paid invoice by court of law, those three documentations, your asset cannot be included as a liquidated asset. So it remain in a bonded facility, and then someone else will take that over. So again, there's no risk in losing your money or losing your cask for that fact. And you're fully stored and insured along the journey. Fire, theft, or damage, you're fully covered.
Interesting. What are the three documents you mentioned? So the invoice and the paid invoice and the certificate.
Certificate of title, so your ownership documents, your invoice, and your paid invoice.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Do I have those three?
You do. You have all three. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've
Okay,
got that, and you've got it on your portal as well, Cindy.
great, great. My team handles all that paperwork, so I just want to make sure that
No
they have
problem.
it. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, by the way, you mentioned your lease is 150 years old, but I thought you guys own that bonded facility, no?
125-year lease we have on that.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a break clause after 10 years. But we've spent a considerable amount on this bonded facility. It would be a car crash, should we say, if we was to get rid and close up. But we've a lot of this, particularly with the Vintage Whiskey Group, we're a very family unit. We're very tight knit. A lot of our partners, owners, myself has invested in this bonding facility, so our own money, and we're fully behind it, and we just can't wait for it to be open now.
Okay. But don't you guys own that? Don't you guys own that facility? Why do you have a lease?
We don't own no, it's a leasehold. So I'm not sure
Oh.
it's different in Canada, but it's a leasehold of the property. So we have that for 125 years, and we pay the lease on that. We don't have the freehold. So there's leasehold and freehold, but we don't have the
Yeah.
freehold. We own the
So,
lease.
so the 6-something million you guys paid is just to like build it to fit your needs, but you don't actually own it.
We purchased it was an airport hangar, so it's an ex-military base.
Yeah.
So we purchased that, but we have a lease on that, so it's a leasehold. So you
Oh.
can either buy the freehold and buy the actual freehold on that. It's pretty much the same, but
Okay.
it's a leasehold instead.
Got it.
It's
Well,
125 years.
125 years, you guys are not going anywhere. Okay.
No, not, all my children as well. They'll be working there.